Yeah, Mike Scott Chicago. Only way to keep out trouble of the world is to have a serene mind. I'm here with a miracle from Phoenix. It's Nick. Nick is from Phoenix. And yeah, Nick, I ask in my meditation every morning, be too large for worry, be too strong for fear, be too noble for anger. Because he's worrying and fear to control the mind. So this guy's a miracle. He how many, tomorrow will be what? How many days? Tomorrow will be what?
Well, I'm only worrying about today. So
Yeah.
today I have 364 days.
Wow.
I'm worrying about today. But by God's grace, I'll have 365 tomorrow by God's grace. So I'm just trying to get by today.
And you living in Phoenix now?
I'm living in Queen Creek, Arizona, which is a little east of Phoenix. And I'm blessed to be up here in Chicago to pick up my coin tomorrow with my
Wow.
pick up my coin tomorrow with my father. And he's got 38 years. Just the miracles in my life have been incredible.
Now, how does your lifestyle? Where your lifestyle come? How do you change? How's your lifestyle change from?
Well, when I was younger, I was in the drugs and selling weed and cocaine and marijuana and being in the bars drinking as much as I can. And then that did land me into federal penitentiary. I did state time and federal time concurrently. They flew me to Oklahoma, West Virginia, right outside where Michael Vick lived, and
Mike Vick, the dog guy?
Yeah, he was in the East Coast prisons where I was at, and then I went down to North Carolina, and that's where Bernie Madoff and Carmine were federal penitentiary, and that was very crazy. That's where drugs led me. That's the best. I had a lot of freedom from drugs, but that's where my best drugs led me is federal penitentiary. And then slowly changed my life when I came out of there, but I did slip again.
So what do you think about your opinion about the legalized marijuana, which you said marijuana?
I have an extensive history with marijuana. I grew pot for 10 years out here in Chicago, and I was the most advocate about pot. But now today, being sober, yeah. I think when we were younger, we used to smoke this swag weed here. That came over the borders, and now they have all this. Now, like the pot I grew is like the pot you see in the stores today. And that marijuana, the kids today are drinking shots instead of beers. We drank beers, which was like swag weed is what we grew up on, was like beer. Now they have the dank, hydro and organic pot now today, and that's like our children. I think our kids are smoking like shots. So they're starting out with shots right away on marijuana.
They're putting fentanyl on marijuana now too.
They're putting fentanyl, all kinds. They had a friend out here in Arizona. He came out of a bar, thought there was some cocaine on the ground, so he picked it up, tasted it. There was cocaine, and then by the time he went home, he did that cocaine, and he was dead because it was the cocaine he found on the ground was laced with fentanyl, and he left behind 2 children. And marijuana, with God in my life right now, you can't change anything about purity without marijuana. Dude, I grew pot for 10 years, smoked pot my whole life.
Wow.
And I'll tell you right now, there's nothing better than the power of God and being pure, away from marijuana, away from alcohol.
There you go.
I don't need nothing clouding me in the spirit.
No
I like the purity, but the channel. See, that channel goes, that soft spot in your head, that from you're a baby, that channel of God's comes right through my soft spot as a channel to do His work. And that marijuana is just going to. You can't tell me today that any mind-altering substance is good for me, because I can get as spiritual and as happy like never before by being pure off of drugs and alcohol and marijuana. This Cali sober stuff, that's fine. You could go ahead and do that, but you're not as pure and as clear as I am with my higher power, because I don't need no marijuana. I'm high. Trust me, I'm high, right with my higher power. I'm high, and if you don't think so, come with me to Arizona. We'll go to Sedona, and I'll show you without drugs and alcohol how connected and how spiritual you can be without drugs and alcohol. You come see me in Arizona, I'll take you to Sedona, and we'll go right in those vortexes, and where I had an awakening when I was sober out there. And
this is Nick from Phoenix, one of the miracles I'm talking to you right now. I had to go out of space to go in the submarine to find a miracle. We still breathing fresh air. Call for the penitentiary.
Every day I wake up and I thank God to be alive and for a breath of fresh air. Every morning I get on my knees and I thank God for a breath of fresh air and to be alive. Los Lonely Boys, it's a band. And they always say, thank you for being alive. They always say, and take me away from this prison, heaven. It's a good song. And I'll tell you one thing, You get down on your knees and you live this AA way is the way, and miracles like you never dreamed before. Like the promises say that they will happen, and just as long as you do the next right thing and live with God, and it takes a little while.
And the slow lane's best lane. It's cool to be a square now, right?
Oh man, I love being a square. I'll take square. I wear square shirts. I'm true to yourself. I love being a square because God provides so much for me with food, women. I got a beautiful woman.
He got a woman with him.
That's because I worked the program.
He got
right.
a woman.
If I didn't do that, the most attractive thing you can do, if you're lonely out there, the most attractive thing you can do is better yourself and work this program. You will be very attractive for women.
Mike Scott Chicago.
Vice versa for a woman for you.
And Mike Wheeler, I met him at the the blues guy.
Oh yeah.
Been around the world.
Yeah, Wheeler.
Blues.
I've heard of Wheeler. I've heard of Wheeler Blues Wheeler.
So Mike Scott Chicago, Paul for Penitentiary, enjoy life, be outdoors, breathe. I'm glad to meet this guy.
Live life.
Yeah.
Now that I'm sober, I live life. I touch things. I feel things. I smell flowers. This is the person I'm not before. I could taste my food. I don't.
So are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am on Facebook. Nicholas Dembicki. You can see me on Facebook. I got nothing to hide in my life. I look you dead in my eyes.
Look up a Facebook friend too.
That's right.
So this is Nick from Phoenix. Like I say, so Mike Scott Chicago.
Proud to be sober today.